So good evening everybody and welcome back to F1 here on FTRL. It is the climax of Season 18 for Div 2 and we are back here at the Sakir circuit in Bahrain for what is a bit of a dead rubber. The championship of course wrapped up last week by Brutus Beer, who did all he needed to do to claim his second or third Div 2 title at Brazil last time out. So all that is at stake tonight is personal pride. Who wants to sign off the season in style with a victory here under the lights in the desert? So numbers a little bit down tonight unfortunately, but at the end of the season, so we can forgive them. They've put in some outstanding numbers this season, so once again big shout out and appreciation to the guys in Div 2. Let's head around. Who have we got first on track? It looks as if it might be Jonesy, and it is Jonesy, so we will go on board. Of course, in the absence of Dylan, who is our normal guide to a lap of the circuit, Jonesy tonight is bestowed that honour. The Williams man has had a nice decent run of form recently. Podium course at Hungary. Strong result last time at Brazil there. So good form. And then here we go then on a lap of Sakir. Down the start finish up we come. The DRS pops open and the timer starts now. They cross the line, of course. Down into turn 1 will be one of the best overtaking opportunities. And then it's late as you dare on the brakes, down all the way to second gear, a little bit deep on the brakes there from Josie. Brings it back in for turn 2, and then starts to shoot up the hill. The DRS will pop open again now. Sprint up towards turn 4, another good overtaking opportunity, which we saw last night. Can be a dramatic one as well. Lands there nicely, don't use too much track on the exit. And then the tricky right-left downhill section. Use the curb on the right hand side, then over to the left for the downhill braking zone of 7. Start to build the speed up, then they go over the crest into the super tricky downhill off camber left hand braking zone. Leads you onto the back straight and the third DRS detection zone. Not the best for overtaking this straight, depending on the run you had at that final corner, but we'll keep the drivers close as they start to come into the final technical section, climb up the hill. A little bit hesitant on the power. Use a bit of the curve on the right, and then watch out for the curve on the inside. There is a car killer. Find your apex, fall up and off the corner. Don't run too wide on exit. And go over the crest and down the other side into the final corner. Down to third gear, apex nicely on the power. Find that curve on the outside. DRS will pop open. And across the line we go, and the first lap on the board is a 28.1 from the Williams man, which is quickly bettered by the Alpine behind him of Katamis, a 27.1 for him. And that quickly is jumped by Nexus Cats, who goes into the 27.0s. And that lap time is probably beaten for the next man across the line, Barcelona, the 26.7. Brutus Beer slots in just behind him then, so the first one not to the top leaderboard. The newly crowned champion popped himself onto the provisional front row. So with the numbers down a little bit tonight, of course no Daft Chip, no Aaron Trucker, no Alex Pixie, so a few of the big names missing, which is a shame, but I'm sure the boys who are on track will provide us with some good racing, and we could see a surprise result tonight perhaps. Now this is the man that I'm rooting for tonight. He never had a podium FTRL, and I think this could be the one. So this is the man I'm rooting for tonight for a top 3 finish. Hopefully I haven't given him the curse of the commentator. But yeah, my money is on Zombie for a top 3 tonight, and I'm manifesting that for him, so if you could help me with that, that would be much appreciated. See what we can do. Also Sioni in the second of the Alpha Aston Martins tonight. Alongside very likeable Michael Vien. Could he be standing on top of the podium tonight? Well, let's see how he gets on the end of this lap then, coming down then towards the final corner. He's been a really consistent front runner since he joined FTRL, stepped in to replace Casey, his controller's broken, and has been a superb substitute driver. His first flying run goes third fastest in 26.8, just 400ths shy of his countryman and friend Brutus. So once again Michael Vien putting himself in the mixer with a P3 on his first run. Another former FTRLer, partially. He's been in a couple of times before. Kalsper in Div 2 tonight, alongside his mate Chubbs. who had an outstanding battle with his teammate last time out of Brazil. Him and Barcelona were the class of the field. Those two duked it out for victory. It was unfortunately just a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane that cost Chubbs any chance at the victory. But still, him and his teammate put on an epic duel at the front as Barcelona finally broke that P2 curse and took victory. Chubbs with a second, and that all but wrapped up the Constructors' title for McLaren. They are now a long, long way ahead of the AlphaTauri boys, so Brutus and Callum will have to do something quite special to overhaul them. Might need a double DNF and close to a 1-2 finish for the... not quite, actually. No, so if Brutus can win this one, if the McLaren's retire and Brutus gets a strong result, Callum finishes the race as well, then there's every chance they could overhaul them, but that is a big ask. Of course, with Chubbs, it's not such a big ask, but Barcelona seems fairly competent, so there is at least one McLaren pretty much guaranteed to finish. Scuba Steve, they're getting a twitch on out the final corner. He came back with a podium last week. Great to have him back. He prevailed in that epic battle for P3. I thought he'd gone the wrong way with the hard tyres at the pit stop, as the guys around him went onto the mediums, but as it was, the tyres died right at the end of the race, and he caught and passed Daft Chip for that podium. So yeah, I was bow to his superior on-track knowledge. He snapped up a podium. Let's see how he gets on then. His first flying run, and out of turn 4 he comes. Here's a left-hand kink, and now he's not dropping down the hill. 27.8 in sector 1. Over to the left-hand side, open the angle up for the right-hander. On the power early. Coming over that crest, and this is the trickiest corner on the circuit. This braking out here, coming downhill, it's off camber. Car wants to get away from you, but rounds it very, very nicely indeed. Gets it straightened up. And he's on his way again. Austin climbing up the hill towards Bendel Bottleneck. Stay away from that curb, get close to it, but don't touch it. He's got away with that nicely. Rounds the pedals at a corner. Looking very neat and tidy so far, Scuba Steve. Comes over the crest. Down towards the final corner. Tips in, and now it is get the car straightened up. Gas it to the line, DRS pops open, and Scuba Steve goes second fastest, 26.5, so comes up just 12 thousandths shy of provisional pole. Very handy that there from Scuba Steve, and he is now on the front row of the grid. So, just one driver to set a time, and the current running order with just over 9 minutes left to go is Barcelona sat on provisional pole. Scuba Steve has just joined him there. Then we've got the newly crowned champion Brutus Beer in third, Michael Vien alongside him in fourth, and Cats and Catamies. It's Team Feline on the third row. Zombie sitting P7 with Sione in 8th. Then we've got Bossman in P9. Jonesy rounding out the top 10. Chubbs, who again is out on the medium tyre, so he's trying to do the alternate strategy. Callum is 12th. Sierra Tau is 13th. And Calsper on his first lap. Currently sat at P14. So last night, of course, we wrapped up the Div 1 season in spectacular style. We still had a title battle on our hands between Tico and Dutch. It was heavily geared towards Tico. And he did everything he needed to do by taking pole position. The race itself then, Oxox got himself in between the two Dutch boys off the line. And he was a thorn in the side all race long. And then a safety car brought out by an Alpine retirement saw the field mixed up as Funky Chicken profited greatly. And he stayed out on his medium tyres. He came out P2. Shazoo Tom gambled on staying out on slightly used tyres. It was to prove the wrong cause. Oxox stormed through. He took the victory. Behind him, meanwhile, though, there was contact between the outgoing chap Lynx and Tico. He span Tico around, got wing damage, split the pack up, offered a glimmer of hope to Dutch Tricks, but he wasn't able to take it, having picked up a track limit penalty, and in the end ended up P9 as he changed to the medium tyres, and the guys on the soft just swamped him. So Tico claimed the title, so will we see equal amounts of drama tonight? Well, Catamies and Cats have moved off the third row and now occupy the second row, so Brutus and Michael Vien have been dropped down. Brutus is improving. What about Michael Vien? He is down in sector 1, so let's keep an eye on Brutus. As he comes up to the final corner, he is on course to improve his time, and that will jump him back ahead of Catamies. Next is Katz there. He's got himself right in the mixer then, so could Katz be a threat tonight? So the line Brutus does improve. Goes back onto the second row of the grid. 26.7 that time around. What about Michael Vian? How's he getting on? Coming to the Sector 2 split point any second now. And he is up again in Sector 2, so he's on to improve as well. He could jump both Katamis and Brutus with this lap. Is there any time to be found in the final sector? He's coming up into the final corner. Tips into the right-hander. And now it is just a drag to the line. The Dios opens up. And across the line he goes third. He did find some time in the final sector, quite a lot of time in fact, and goes. He's the fourth driver on to a 26.5 then, so very tight at the top two rows. Separated by less than a tenth of a second at the minute, so super tight at the top there between those four. That Zombie, how's he getting on? He's in Sector 2. I've got Barcelona on a lap. He is improving in Sector 2 and goes faster still than, so he lowers the bar. 26.2 for the McLaren man. That just eases him away from that pack behind him. Could be sitting in third place, and how is Zombie getting on? Looks like he's backed out of this one. Look at this sector chip, but yeah, he's backed out of it, so he's not on a quick lap anymore. But a boss man who's had a bit of turn of pace recently, going for a little bit of slipstream there off of the AlphaTauri on the run down to turn 1. It's now giving me a terrible camera. There we go. He's had a really good recent one. Didn't have the best luck last time out of Brazil. An opening lap incident kind of dropped him off, and of course there was no safety cars, so he never really got back into contention. But prior to that race, he had a really good run of results, so good to see him improving. And he is... Oh. So my game has crashed. We've got a problem. We have got a problem. Right. I don't know what's going on in the... Alright, to apologise everybody, we have got issues, so I'm going to have to restart, so the stream may close.